Have you ever wondered what separates the really successful people like Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, or maybe Warren Buffett from the rest? What's the secret sauce that propels them to the top? The answer might surprise you. Stick with me for more. Now, if you're following my channel, you've probably heard already about the system to success, which I have been explaining quite a lot. Today, I want to talk about what is the part that is the first step towards success, and it is the goal-setting process. Setting goals is the one thing that separates the successful people from the rest. Want to know why? Let me tell you. So, it's not about talent, luck, or connections, even though each of these things helps a lot. It is about having a clear goal. But why is goal setting such an important step towards success? Why it is the step number one all these successful people take? It has been proven that setting goals effectively increases your chances towards success. It is the way that setting goals affects our brain that creates us the opportunity to really reach for the stars. Now, let me get a bit deeper. Setting a goal provides clarity and motivation to you. Our brain understands what you want to focus on, and since it is able to focus on a single thing at a time, as I was mentioning in my other video about the multitasking myth, once you've set the goal, the brain will automatically start to focus on this one goal. You can have multiple goals and address them one at a time. But the thing is, once you have the goal set up, the brain will automatically focus on the goals that you have set. You will focus your energy and effort into the goals that you have set. It will also drive you through the decisions that you have to make, how to prioritize tasks. If you have a clear goal, you will know what is more important and what you can push a bit aside. And as I mentioned, having a clear goal also boosts your motivation. It gives you the reason to get up in the morning because you know toward what you are going to work. You know where you want to get to. It will be clear to you why you need to really push through some very hard things because you know what your goal is. And if you link that goal to the values or your inner why, as I was mentioning in one of my other videos, you will have a continuous motivation that will fuel your discipline to really execute in a way that you will attain what you are desiring. Now, the thing with goals is that once you have them set, you would normally break them down into smaller actionable steps, right? And I'll get back to this in a minute. But the thing is that once you start reaching these smaller goals, you will gain the motivation from that. You will gain momentum by moving forward. And that's another important way how to really make sure that you are always motivated and disciplined to move toward your end goal. And then there's a final thing. Having set a clear goal will help you overcome procrastination. Procrastinating is always a bit of a challenge, right? Especially when you don't have the goals linked to your inner why, to your values. But sometimes we just have to push through. And having a clear goal will help you make sure that you are working on the tasks that will get you toward your goal. And you will not be pushing things aside anymore. Now, I want to jump to the basic principles of setting goals. You have quite a lot of that on my channel as well, so I'm not going to dive into details, but I want to have a quick overview still. I think it's very important. Now, the first thing is that you need to set goals smart. The method of SMART goals is quite well known. You can also find some resources on my channel. And I'm not going to go deep into this one, but I would like to emphasize again the R, so the relevancy of the goals. Linking your goals to the inner why that you have inside. I think that's very important. And another thing that is also very important in my opinion is to visualize your goals. It is much easier for our brain to work on something that is not abstract. That's why it is important that you visualize what you want to achieve. You will understand and connect better also to your inner values, to your inner why, if you have the picture of what you want to become. Where do you want to go? If you want to, I don't know, lose weight, visualize how you are slimmer and more fit. Now, the second principle that is very valuable in my opinion is that you need to break your goals, your bigger goals, into actionable items. I'm not really talking about to-do lists. I'm talking about breaking down the final goal into smaller, more achievable goals. This will give you the motivation I was talking about earlier to really achieve one goal at a time, moving constantly toward your end big goal. The next principle talks about the time-boundness of goals, which is very important because if you follow my channel, you will remember the video about the Parkinson's law and how basically every task takes over all the time that is attributed to it. Now, this is the reason why we need to give some deadlines to our goals. But the trick is that you need to set realistic deadlines. It makes no sense into setting deadlines that are completely unachievable. They're way too fast or way too further away. You need to set realistic deadlines to make sure that your brain is working towards the goal, the smaller part of the goal, all the time. The next principle, which is very dear to me really, because I'm quite an analytical person and I love analytics, I love data, I love trends, charts and everything like that. That principle talks about tracking your progress. So in order to understand whether you are moving toward the end goal, you need to track your progress. You can choose to track in an app, in a worksheet, it doesn't really matter. But make sure that you are tracking your progress, you are ticking off the tasks, the tinier goals toward the big goal that you have. This will again give you some motivation, but it will also tell you if you are getting off track. Now finally, the fifth principle, the most important one and the most cheerful one, I would say, celebrate your successes. This is the part that I enjoyed the most, and it is often actually overlooked because once we achieve something, we just run towards the next thing. And that's really a shame. We should always take time to celebrate our achievements. So be mindful about it. Whenever you complete a task, you achieve a tiny goal, make sure that you make also a small celebration for yourself. It doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't have to be very big, but make sure you give the brain the reward it deserves. So I guess it became clear through this video that goal setting isn't making a wish and waiting for it to come true. It's a strategic process and it's also an ongoing process. The thing is, with goal setting, our goals will always change and we need to adapt. But if we are following these principles of goal setting, we are finally getting a chance to be really successful in our life, whatever success means to us. I'm cheering for you. Bye-bye.